UFC 320, Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty, the whitest to do it. And I am here today to give you a pick and a prediction for every single fight on the card. UFC 320, we have another pay-per-view here, and look, I'm not going to lie. Other than the two main events here and maybe a fight or two scattered throughout the card, I don't think this is pay-per-view worthy. Okay? The names on here, I think they could have done better. I think they're giving a middle finger to ESPN, on their way out, giving them a crappy pay-per-view. Honestly, there's only a few actually good fights on this card, in my opinion. But nevertheless, we don't stop, okay? Every single week. Picks, predictions, bets, all for free, just for you guys, okay? Now, as we always do, we have to recap last week. Pulling the results up here right now, UFC Perth, and I told you we were going to turn things around. We literally flipped it from last week, okay? We go 7-5 on the picks. Should have been 8-4 because Jake Matthews got that submission in round one. Whether or not Neil Magny was out, right? The ref literally said he's out with 3 or 4 seconds left on the clock. So that shit really pissed me off because bet number one would have slapped, right? We had to reload and put in other bets because of this fucking fuckery. Anyway, Carlos Ulberg dominated Reyes. Jimmy Crute dominated Ursulin. I said, get your takedown, do your things on the mat, and that's what he did. Jack Jenkins takes care of business. Navajo Sterling takes care of business. I mean, all these Aussies come through except for Jake Matthews. A bad look on the Charlie Campbell fight. Thought Tom Nolan isn't what he is, I guess. Andre Petroski. Look, this is why I didn't put any money on this guy, right? I said Cam Rowson's going to win. It's going to be by a first-round KO. Look what happened, right? Jimmy Malarkey and Rolando Bedoya. Man, Bedoya's ass. But booty. But duty. But crap. Rolando needs to be out of the UFC at this point. I mean, he had moments in the third round, but his punches just don't pack. They don't pack a punch. They don't have pop. They're bad. He has no power in his shots. Okay. Luana Carolina got bodied on the mat by Michelle Montague, and it looked awful. Pericic, easy win. Alexia Thainara dominated Loma for 3 rounds too. Looked nice. Overall, 7-5 on the picks, not too shabby. Again, should have been 8-4, but it is what it is. Honestly, there's some fuckery every week, it seems like, in the UFC, and this is what we come to, whatever. We move on to UFC 320. Let's pull up our main event here. A rematch. 6 months later, we have Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Poatan Pereira. Chama. Odds on the fight here. Minus 220 for Magomed. Plus 180 for Alex Pereira. My pick for this fight's going to be Alex Pereira. Give me Poatan. Give me Chama. Okay? One of my favorites here in the past few years. And honestly, one of a lot of people's favorites. I thought he won that fight versus Magomed the first time here. But I did rewatch the fight, and I'm like, damn. And I was saying it during the fight too. He needs to put out more volume. If he would have put out more volume in that fight and not been so gun shy, it didn't look like our classic Poatan out there, right? If he would have put out more volume, he probably would have won that fight. He won round 1, he won round 5. Round 3 was the toss-up round, in my opinion. And I rewatched it, and I'm like, damn. I'm going to kind of have to side with Ankalaev because he's throwing more out there. And even the good punches that Pereira lands are not enough to sway the round and through. Ankalaev was landing a bunch of kicks, good front kicks, body work, and his own shots too. So it was a close fight, right? We all expected another Alex Pereira knockout, and that's not what we got. And props to Magomed Ankalaev he basically won a kickboxing match against one of the best kickboxers in the game, Alex Pereira, right? But the reason I'm picking Alex Pereira this time, he hasn't been but prior to that loss there, he was the fame, the traveling, the skits, I mean, I feel like he was just kind of losing focus, right? And beating kind of, subpar competition at the highest level, right? I mean, a Jamal Hill knockout. I mean, looking back now, Jamal Hill's kind of ass. You know what I mean? So, but Alex Pereira's an elite kickboxer, okay? Left hook from hell. He's powerful, has really good kicks, and I just something was off with him in his last fight, okay? And I think he's going to overcome that. I think he's focused. I mean, we've seen him, getting mad at Magomed and the PI, Performance Institute. We see them kind of clashing up, and it's bad blood between these guys, right? So I honestly think like a lot of the fame and the hype really kind of got to him, and he under delivered in the last fight, and that's why he was kind of like maybe not so there and so gun shy. But I think he can take the fight this time. I've never really been a fan of Magomed Ankalaev or his style, but I mean it works, right? He's the champion for a reason, right? I mean, and this was an auto rematch, right? This was an auto rematch. We couldn't have somebody else facing Magomed. Like, that fight was just too close. You have to give him the auto rematch. But Magomed's good, man. He's really good in the clinch, and him stuffing and closing that space for Alex Pereira is not good, because Alex Pereira is not the best in the clinch and just kind of gets held up on the fence and sits there, right? I mean, he really won that last fight with more volume. He was consistently throwing out kicks, jabs, racking up points. I said I don't like him too much or his style, because he's like very stiff. I've said that before. He's just very stiff and primarily a striker. Pereira, I mean, I don't know if he was avoiding the takedowns or not avoiding the takedowns, but was afraid of the takedowns. But I see Alex Pereira coming back in focused on this fight. And I think it will probably go to decision again, just something like we saw in the last fight. But I'm just hoping Pereira knows, just throw out more volume, right? Like, don't be so gun shy. Don't be afraid of the shots coming back, because Magomed wasn't, right? They both landed good shots throughout the fight. Magomed almost had Alex Pereira kind of knocked out at one point in round 2 there. So I'm saying all this, and it really should be leaning towards Magomed Ankalaev, right? But I just have a feeling, man, and I can't go against my boy Powhatan. Everyone's going to be on Ankalaev. Everybody. Maybe a good bet, about plus 5.5 on Alex Pereira, or a spread bet, because I think it goes distance and it's going to be close again, right? Could be a split decision where Pereira wins the belt back. I mean, Pereira's 38 years old, guys, right? Like, he is at the tippy top here. If he loses this fight, it's going to be a drastic drop off. I will say that. So we'll take Alex Pereira. We'll take him by decision, and new champion of this division. Let's go. All right, moving on to our co-main event of the evening. We have Merab Dvalishvili, I think I said that right, versus Cory Sandhagen. Odds on the fight, I am pulling them up here right now. I know Merab is a huge favorite. Minus 380 for Merab and plus 300 for Cory Sandhagen. My pick for the fight is going to be Merab, because Merab will Merab. He will do Merab things. I don't expect anything else to happen. And what do you mean he'll do Merab things? Constant pressure, constant control, whether it's on the fence or on the mat. He's no slouch on the feet either. He will overwhelm you with pressure and striking and just be in your face. He'll just smother you in the pressure, right? He is just a constant smothering, annoying fighter. It works though, right? If he wants to take you down, he'll just fucking grab your leg and take you down, right? Cardio, best in the business. This dude's crazy as a motherfucker, right? This dude was running and training after he had just won the belt. Like, man, Merab is something different. He's called the machine for a reason. Now, this is a deserved title shot for Cory Sandhagen, right? And Cory Sandhagen's good. Don't get it twisted. It's just Merab he's just the king of this division. And we've seen the same thing over and over and over from him. I don't expect anything else to happen. Cory Sandhagen, slick striking, good movement, also has really some slick jiu-jitsu. Now, that might cause him some trouble in the fight, right? If he shoots a submission, thinks he can actually find one, I don't think he's submitting Merab at all. Merab is damn good on the mat too. Cardio's good from Cory Sandhagen. He's really only losing to the best, right? Umar, Nurmagomedov, Peter Yan, Dillashaw, Sterling. Like, losing to top tier guys, right? And beats everybody else. But man, he got worked by Umar, right? Was not able to get up from takedowns. Was just pinned up against the mat. I mean, and with Merab constantly shooting, he's obviously bound to get some takedowns. Even if Cory Sandhagen's be able to get back up, it might just be a thing where get back up, take it back down. Get back up, take it back down. Just fucking ragdolling him. I think Merab will ragdoll Cory Sandhagen, to be honest with you. And again, it's a deserved title shot for Cory Sandhagen. He's been beating everybody else. He's basically the best in the division other than Merab. And Umar, I guess, because he lost to him. I mean, honestly, in hindsight, like, the Umar loss is just not good for him because Merab handled Umar, right? And if Umar's handling Cory, like, what do you think the MMA math is? Just doing MMA math. Obviously, you would think Merab's going to handle Cory Sandhagen. I do think the MMA math plays out right. We're going to pick Merab, Dvalishvili. We're going to pick him by decision because Cory Sandhagen's tough. He can last 5 rounds. He's going to get beat up. And Merab will do Merab things. So that is my pick for the co-main event. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We have Jiri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree Jr. Odds in the fight, -185 for Jiri, +150 for Khalil. My pick for the fight is going to be Jiri Prochazka. Okay, give me this crazy motherfucker. Okay, last thing I saw, he was getting his masters. Like, this guy does, like, retreats out to the mountains, no contact from people, and, like, just doing crazy shit to train his body. He has tons of fights, tons of experience. He's going to be taller and longer than Khalil. I think he has a lot of power in his hands. I think he's probably more powerful than Khalil. He's just, like, an explosive, athletic guy. And, we saw, Jiri does have kind of difficulties with technical fighters. Khalil Rountree, maybe if he pulls out some masterclass for 3 rounds, he could, maybe win round 2 and 3 versus Jiri. Jiri comes out hot in the first round. And, dude, Jiri does not really go to decision too much. Like, just looking at all of his last fights, like, I'm trying to see when his last decision win was. It was fucking 2016, bro. Over 9 years ago. So usually his fights end within the distance, whether him being knocked out or somebody else getting knocked out or submitted. So, movement-wise, I think Jiri has the edge. I mean, he's in the past 9 years, right? He's only lost to Alex Pereira. That's it. He's beaten everybody else. Jiri is a high-level elite fighter in this division. And Khalil Rountree's a dog, right? Dude's a dog. He's tough, and respect for his journey up to this point, being super overweight, losing all that weight, fighting Alex Pereira in a main event, beating a Jamal Hill overseas, getting this opportunity here versus a Jiri who's very high ranked. If it goes in in the later stages here of round 2, getting to round 3, like Khalil Rountree, round 3 KO is live as fuck. Because Jiri doesn't really have the best gas tank in the later parts of the rounds. Round 2, round 3. He exerts a lot of energy. And, I mean, honestly, he's hittable at times. He doesn't like to be hit. So if Khalil Rountree gets a couple good shots in, I mean, Jiri really don't like to be hit, right? Jiri relies on the finish. Khalil Rountree can finish you or win a 3-round decision. Win a 5-round decision, as we saw, versus Jamal Hill. And honestly, I mean, in hindsight, Jamal Hill is kind of washed. I mean, it's a solid win, though, that you have in your back pocket for Khalil Rountree. Rountree's good, though. Good cardio, nice hooks, good straight punches, good knees in the clinch. Actually, he's really good in the clinch. Khalil Rountree's very good in the clinch. It'd probably be better for him to close distance, get up on the fence, get closer to Jiri, because fighting that Jiri, with Jiri at space is probably not going to be the best with him. You'll probably pick him apart, to be honest with you. I anticipate Khalil Rountree getting put on the back foot, Jiri pressuring him crazy like a motherfucker, and finding that shot. I think Jiri gets a KO. Now he has so many red flags, but I'll point him out. I'm still going to pick him. He's, again, super hittable, has hard time with technical fighters, relies on the finishes. His past fights, like, he really has to face adversity and overcome them to get the finish is crazy. He's almost been finished at points and comes back and wins these fights. And those low hands. I mean, that's his style, but nobody likes, the low hands. I mean, obviously, your face is right there to get hit, All you can do is just move your body and your head. You don't have your hands to protect you. And yes, that helps you with your movement and like moving around better, but when it comes to defense and people that can close distance nicely, Khalil Rountree could take advantage of that. Nevertheless, we saw Khalil Rountree get knocked out by Alex Pereira. Jiri ain't no patient guy. He will come in like a bat out of hell, and he will try and finish you right when the bell starts. So, yeah, I'm going to take Jiri Prochazka. I'm going to take him by KO. And that is my pick for the featured fight on the main card. Let's go. Next fight, we have Josh Emmett versus Youssef Zalal, the Moroccan Devil. Two featherweights going at it. Youssef Zalal trying to take Josh Emmett's rank. Josh Emmett trying to protect his rank. Odds on the fight plus 290 for Josh Emmett. Minus 390 for the Moroccan Devil, Youssef Zalal. My pick for the fight's going to be Youssef Zalal. Dude's been on a tear since, his second stint here in the UFC and getting dropped from the first time. Coming off a really solid performance versus Cater. His grappling is pretty damn good and hunts for subs real easy. Great top control. Youssef Zalal is pretty damn good on the mat. And when it comes to the striking, he's a technical striker. Real good movement. He's definitely a lot younger and quicker than Josh Emmett is. How much younger? 29 to 40 years old, so 11 years younger. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, okay? Got some elevation training. I like that for Youssef Zalal. Really, he just needs to avoid the power shots, and I think he can do that. I anticipate that he can see them, and he'll get out of the way. Like Josh Emmett is good. Old man Emmett, right? His KO power is still there, though. Right hand from God, right? It's deadly as hell. And it always will be. Yeah, great UFC experience, good UFC vet. I mean, he can get rocked, though. Like, he has been rocked before. I definitely think I would give him the power edge. I don't think Youssef Zalal is going to be KOing Josh Emmett at all unless he gets him on a position on the mat where his arms are pinned and he's not able to fight back or something like that, which, again, Josh Emmett's too strong for that to let that even happen. But he mapped out the game plan in his last fight to beat him, right, with Lerone Murphy. Technical striking, movement, avoiding the power shots. Like, Youssef Zalal can do that, right? And obviously, you think he didn't watch the last fight? Of course he did, right? And even though Josh Emmett still put out a tough fight versus Murphy, he just mapped out the game plan now for anybody to beat him. And these younger guys, they can do that. And it's only a 3-round fight, too. Youssef Zalal can dance around the octagon, avoid these shots from Josh Emmett, and make it happen. At least win the first 2 rounds, right? Josh Emmett may find success in the 3rd round. Honestly, he could find success with the grappling and the clinching, dirty boxing, getting maybe a takedown on Zalal and holding him down. I think that's possible for Josh Emmett. I think it is. Zalal, use them kicks. Emmett leaves his leg out to be chopped up. I think Zalal can find success with the kicks, with the movement, a good technical striking battle. Honestly, I think he's just going to play it smart and win this by decision. He doesn't have the KO power, in my opinion, to knock out Josh Emmett. I don't think he's going to get this to the ground at all because Josh Emmett's real strong, right? And I think he's able to get back up or, not let any damage get inflicted on him if he's taken down by Zalal. Zalal does have pretty good top control. I don't see... Man, is he going to sub up Josh Emmett? I don't think so. Josh Emmett had pretty good takedown defense. Strong hips, too. So it's really kind of hard to get my boy Josh Emmett down. Again, Youssef Zalal playing it smart, dancing around the octagon, avoiding the shots. I think he takes his fight by decision. So Youssef Zalal by decision. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to our opener on the main card. We have Joe Body Bags Pyfer versus Abus Magomedov. Odds on the fight, minus 220 for Joe Pyfer, plus 180 for Abus Magomedov. My pick for the fight is Joe Pyfer. I actually don't say that with a lot of confidence here. Again, I give you a pick and a prediction for every single fight, but I think Abus Magomedov is actually pretty live to win this fight, if not at least a round, right? Round 2, round 3 maybe. Joe Pyfer is an extremely powerful puncher, right? According to science, right, in these stats or whatever, he's got a really, really powerful punch. Not just science, too. The film shows it as well, right? Like, he damn near KO'd Kevin Gastelum, who has a chin like no other. Probably has the best chin in the UFC history, honestly. Gastelum does. And he damn near KO'd him. Joe Pyfer got good pressure. Smells blood in the water. He'll start unloading if he sees it a little bit hurt. Cardio is the killer for him, man. It really is. He just has trouble in the later rounds. He looks real good in the first round. But after that, gets tired and starts fading from there. Like, he showed it in his last fight with Hermanson. Showed it in his fight with Gastelum, losing the third round versus Gastelum in one of those scorecards there, or two of the scorecards there, right? Like, he just throws out a lot of singular shots. He would look a lot better with more combos and more volume, and you don't have to find that power shot every single time, right? You don't have to find that one KO shot every punch. And that's what he's kind of looking for, and even when he misses, right? That takes a lot of energy out of you to whiff on a big, huge punch. I think Magomedov, again, has a solid chance to win this. I think if he can weather the storm in the first round from Joe Pyfer, he could probably take round 2 and round 3. I think Magomedov may have even the wrestling and the grappling advantage over Joe Pyfer. And Magomedov's huge, too. He's like a long, tall middleweight, and bigger than most of his opponents. A little bit older at 5 years older. And this is what really scares me is Abus's chin, right? Abus's chin. He can get chin. He's been hit and compromised before. We've seen him knocked out in the UFC. He just can't get bullied. If he gets bullied by Joe Pyfer, I mean, he's going to end up getting knocked out. Now, again, I think if he weathers the first round storm, he's live to win. I think this is a good live betting spot for Abus Magomedov. Joe Pyfer unloading all his energy in the first round. Abus survives, starts picking momentum back up in the second round. Maybe a spread bet or a live bet on Abus after the first round. Maybe something for you betting people to consider. And really, Abus has only lost to like title contenders at this point. His only 2 losses are versus Sean Strickland and Kyle Barajo. He came into the UFC was super hyped, thinking he was going to be the next top prospect. Got handled by Sean Strickland. Got pretty handled by Kyle Barajo. Coming back to earth, and they're feeding him Warley Alves, some scrub, right? Beats a Bruno Ferreira last time out. Beats a Michel Pereira. Which that fight doesn't really look too good now since Michel Pereira's just fell off a fucking cliff. But again, I think Abus is live. Even though I'm picking Joe Pyfer, I don't think the value's there in betting terms. He's sitting at like a minus 200 or something. He's like minus 150-ish. I think that's something that you could probably look at, but yeah, as long as Abus can weather the first round, he has a live shot to win this. Joe Pyfer looks okay in the second round. Okay, I'll give him that too. He's just so low volume. He's so low volume, but when he hits and when he connects, that shit hurts. That shit hurts. So that's why I'm picking Joe Pyfer, because his punches pack a lot more pop than Abus's do. But it just kind of scares me. So yeah, Joe Pyfer by probably decision would be my official pick for this fight. No. That's just on the safe side. Again, I'm not very confident in this pick. Honestly, if I was betting on this fight, I'd be betting on Abus Magomedov. And he's came through for me before in the past. Abus is one of my boys. So Joe Pyfer's the pick for this fight. Let's go. Okay, moving on to our next fight. This is the featured fight on the prelims. We have Edmen, the Golden Boy Shahbazyan, versus Andre Sergipano Muniz. Odds on the fight minus 275 for Edmen, plus 215 for Andre Muniz. My pick for the fight's going to be Edmen, guys, and I think he handles this fight pretty easily. Andre Muniz coming off a bad loss to Ikram Aliskerov, got beat to hell. Actually a decent win almost 2 years ago versus Jun Young Park, but that's probably his best win in the UFC if you're asking me. Brendan Allen handled him. Got knocked out by fucking Paul Craig. You know what I mean? And Andre Muniz is the way for him to win this fight would be grappling. right? He honestly just hasn't looked good since like 2021. His UFC run's just lackluster. He's a little bit older here than Edmen. 8 years older, actually. Dang, actually almost a lot older. And you know I love my Brazilians, but I can't back him here. I can't. Edmen showed in his last fight he has good movement, good footwork, improved takedown defense. Like, fending off a decent grappler in Prochazka for 3 rounds. I'll give him credit for it, right? You know, he was getting shit on for that performance with Gerald Mearshart where he ends up getting submitted. And, I mean, respectfully, just unloaded all his energy and looked bad after that. I'll just leave it at that. But I see Edmen improving. I see Edmen putting in the work in the gym, right? Like, even though Muniz is a big motherfucker, he's just like old and he's chinny at this point. His path to victory is going to be grappling. I don't think he's going to grapple fuck Edmen for 3 rounds. I don't think Edmen will have that. I think Edmen has a lot more in him at this point. If he does get taken down, you have the will and get back up. I know Andre Muniz and Andre Prochazka are 2 different kind of people, 2 different kind of grapplers. Andre Muniz is a lot bigger. Like, just at distance, dude, Edmen's going to clip him, right? And I think Andre Muniz might get afraid of a knee because Edmen mixes a lot of those into. Like, Edmen switches stances, lots of feints. And he showed in his last fight, he's just not a KO or bust at this point, right? He can win a 3-round decision versus people. Honestly, I'm a little confused on this line. I thought Edmen would be over at like a minus 300 or higher favorite. I just think that with the work that he's been putting in, like this might even be a step down in competition from Andre Prochazka, if you're asking me, even though Andre Muniz was ranked at one point. Can't back him here. I'm going to take Edmen Shahbazyan. I'll take him by KO. I think he finds the shot over Andre Muniz. And we saw him get clipped in his last fight. That was just, 4 months ago he got KO'd. Right? That's a quick turnaround time here after getting KO nasty by Ikram. I think Edmen finds the shot too with that big ass head. So give me Edmen Shahbazyan by KO. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We have Farid Basharat. Farid Ferocious Basharat versus Chris El Guapo Gutierrez. Odds on the fight, minus 400 for Basharat, plus 300 for Gutierrez. My pick for the fight is going to be Farid Basharat, but I do not say that with a high level of confidence. His brother, big letdown in his fight with Ricky Simon. My gosh. That one screwed me hard. I will say that. Farid Basharat's supposed to be the better of the brothers, right? Like if you're looking at the Bonfim brothers, Gabriel Bonfim's better. So we have in this situation here, Farid Basharat's supposed to be the better Basharat brother. And he was a high prospect. And he was supposed to knock out Victor Hugo, but didn't. Was supposed to knock out Taylor Lapilus, but didn't. Right? Submits to Clayton Rodriguez. Okay, cool. Tough fight with Damon Blackshear. And then you're getting a decision win on Contender Series. Like, he was supposed to be known as his finisher, but is consistently getting decisions. So it's kind of like a letdown in a sense, right? Blackshear's kind of his best win. Like, other than you're going to brag about a Victor Hugo win, a Taylor Lapilus win. These people aren't in the UFC anymore, bro. Yeah, you're 14-0 or 13-0, but that's not protecting your O in 2025. We've seen it before, right? Again, I don't make this pick with a high level of confidence, but I think he has enough to get the job done. He has really good movement, good footwork. He honestly causes a lot of confusion with that shit. People miss him a lot. He has really good kicks to all levels, decent striking. Kind of skinny. I will say that. He's kind of skinny. He's not really the most physical or athletic looking in compared to other people. I think Chris Gutierrez is going to be a lot more thick. Obviously his legs. Chris Gutierrez's legs are going to be a lot more thick. Chris Gutierrez probably has some of the best leg kicks in the game, dude. Throws out that kick like a jab, man. He probably has the most leg kicks in UFC history. I don't know if that stat's correct, but he throws out that shit all the time. And I think he's getting overlooked here. I picked Farid Basharat. I think he'll win maybe a round or two. Like Chris Gutierrez has a live shot to win this too. Another underdog where, I might pick Farid Basharat, but pick Chris Gutierrez. I think plus 3.5 for Chris Gutierrez is a really solid bet if you're a betting person. Because I think he can take at least one round on the judges' scorecards. right? He's a solid UFC vet, man. His striking's pretty decent. He could be a little bit better defensively, and he could throw out a little more volume in the later rounds. Like his fight with John Castaneda was very close, and that was due to him kind of not really throwing out the volume in the later rounds, which it's like he took the earlier rounds with ease, right? The earlier stages of, he took round one, obviously, but it starts fading a little bit in round two, in the later stages of round two. Both these guys kind of have cardio issues, to be honest with you. Like past the midpoint of the second round, they kind of start getting tired. So it's like, who's going to have more will? Who's going to have more want to win this fight? Again, I think Chris Gutierrez can at least win one round, but I think Farid Basharat will end up taking this fight by decision. I think he wins the first two rounds at a pretty high clip. I think Chris Gutierrez could find success in round three, or maybe even steal the first round. Farid takes round two and round three. Nevertheless, I think it goes all three rounds. At least starts round two. I don't think either of these guys getting the first round finish because Chris Gutierrez ain't getting knocked out. And I don't think Chris Gutierrez, does he have any knockout wins? Right? He's not really looking for the knockout shot. Let me look at Chris Gutierrez's past history. When's his last knockout win? Frankie Edgar in 2022? Okay. And another one, spinning back fist and elbows versus Batgarel Dana. I mean, has a knockout by leg kicks. That's fucking nasty versus Vince Morales in the past. Like, needless to say, he's not really out here getting finishes too much. Last finish was in 3 years ago. So, and he's had a lot of fights since then. Farid Basharat by decision is my official pick. Let me see the weigh-ins, though. Let me see the face-offs. This may be something that I might pick flip on. If I do pick flip, I'll post in the pinned comment here. I'll put it on the Patreon, and I'll put it on my Twitter. So make sure you check all the socials and things like that in the description to keep up with all the news on the fights here. So, yeah, Farid Basharat by decision. That is my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to the next fight. We have Daniel Santos, Willie Cat, versus Joosang Zombie Jr. Odds in the fight here. Minus 135 from Daniel Santos, plus 110 for Joosang. My pick for this fight is going to be Joosang. Screw it. I'm going with the fucking Korean Conor. This dude literally looked like Conor McGregor out there in his last fight. He's explosive. He's athletic. Has insane KO power. He's a sniper, man. He's got this little sniper-esque style with his striking, right? Career short, though. Only 4 years in MMA, so it's his career short. And honestly, the fights that have gone longer, which aren't a lot, he tends to kind of fade in those later stages, and he gets a little bit hittable. Undefeated at 9-0, not as much experience as Daniel Santos, right? And it's really hard for me to get a read on Joosang because we don't have a lot of fight time to study. Not a lot of fights in the UFC. He's a finisher, dude. He is a finisher. He's looking to finish you. He has decision wins too, okay? So don't get it twisted. He could win a 3-round decision, but I guess I'm not sure why Willie Cat's the favorite here. Mr. missed weight too much. Mr. moved up a weight class. Is he fighting at... I need to check the weights. Hold on. All right, I think he moved up officially. Yeah, he moved up to featherweight officially. And now that'll suit him because he missed weight too many times at bantamweight. So I'm glad he moved up here. He's a Brazilian with a well-rounded skill set. Honestly, I kind of see him as a little mini Marco Tulio, right? Training out of fucking Chute Box Diego Lima. That gym's kind of really putting things together here lately. Has some sick trips, nice takedowns, nice combos, decent cardio. Constant forward pressure. He's really in your face all the time. Hands are pretty decent. They got power in them too. Throws out a lot of volume, but also he misses a lot. I feel like he's gonna miss Joosang a bunch because Joosang really got some nice movement and can get out of the way of shots and avoid shots pretty easy. And Daniel Santos eats a lot of shots too. He's super hittable, but he's not really showing chinniness. I don't see him getting. I don't know. Don't want to say I don't see him getting knocked out, but haven't seen it in the past. I won't say it's a worry here too much, but Joosang got power, man. If he finds that shot, bro, he could catch you off guard, get you, knock you on the ground, finish you there. You know what I mean? And Daniel Santos, kind of a dirty fighter too. I will mention that. Kind of a dirty fighter there in with the weight class and the just kind of his style out there. Eye pokes, nut shots, things like that. Nah, but I'm gonna go with the Korean Connor here. Give me the underdog. I think that he can outwork Daniel Santos. I think he can avoid a lot of the shots. I think Daniel Santos is gonna be throwing wild and crazy, and Joosang Yu is gonna hit him with a counter and end up dropping him and finish it on the ground. So give me Joosang Yu. Fuck it. Give me Joosang Yu by KO. All right. Korean Connor getting another knockout here on the pay-per-view. Let's go. All right. Next fight. The ladies going at it. 2 women's fights on this card. That's how it's kind of been lately. Just 2 women's fights per card. But we have Macy, Chiasson versus Yana Santos. Odds in the fight minus 225 for Macy. Plus 185 for Yana. My pick for this fight is going to be Macy Chiasson. Even though she's coming off a terrible, disappointing loss to Vieira, like that was bad, man. She just got woman handled, bodied, controlled all 3 rounds. And she had some good momentum leading up to that fight, right? Coming off some solid wins versus Pani and Mayra Buena Silva, where she looked pretty damn good. Like, her losses really aren't to bad people. Ketlin Vieira and Irene Aldana. Like, those aren't really bad losses, right? Those are tough girls. Movement-wise, I think Macy's better. She's got some nasty, pointy elbows, strong, decent striking. Going to be a lot bigger than Yana Santos, like a lot bigger. Like 5'11 to 5'6", 72-inch reach to 68-inch reach. That's a lot bigger of a woman Macy Chiasson is. However, on the other side, that leaves her body exposed, and she does that constantly. Like her mid-frame, it's really easy to get body shots and kicks on her there. If Macy can't win this, I'm off the fucking Macy train, bro. Like Yana Santos she's a big white Russian girl. She's looking to strike. If anyone's going to initiate grappling, it's going to be Chiasson. Decent Muay Thai, but overall, she's just kind of like decent. She's okay, right? Macy Chiasson was supposed to be regarded as one of these higher level girls. I didn't really look at the last fight, okay, at all. Cardio kind of fades in round 3. I don't know how I don't see Yana Santos winning this fight at all, right? She seems so old to me, but she's only like 1 year older than Macy is. I think Macy can find a lot of success with grappling and mixing in the clinch and the wrestling. Again, I think the size of her too, she could pick her apart at range. Macy has a lot of ways to win this fight. Macy should win this fight. If she doesn't lose this fight, I'm off the train. Okay? Me personally, I can't back Yana Santos. I just think she's decent. Her movement's okay. The Muay Thai's alright. She's up okay on the fence and clinching up. I mean, okay, yeah, she beat Amisha Tate 4 years ago, but prior to that, she beat Chelsea Chandler and then lost 3 straight. Irene, Holly Holm, Carol Rosa. I'm picking Macy Chiasson. I'm picking her by decision, and that's that. Let's go. All right, moving on to the next fight. We have Patchy, No Love Mix versus Jakub Masa Wiklacz. I think that's how you say it. Odds in the fight here, we have minus 250 for Patchy, plus 200 for Jakub. My pick for the fight's going to be Patchy Mix. Not with the highest level of confidence. And I say this because I think just, this is actually really tough for me to pick Patchy Mix here because he looked like shit in his last fight. Granted, it was versus Mario Bautista, who's damn good. Okay, Mario Bautista probably going to be fighting for the title soon if we're being real here, right? And for that to be your UFC debut, it is a tough debut. I will say that. But now Jakub's making his UFC debut. Okay, former KSW guy, hasn't fought in over a year, from Poland. All right, got that Polish power. I picked Patchy Mix because he's supposed to win this fight. Right, he's supposed to be this great grappler. He's supposed to be taller and longer and shoot for takedowns and get him with ease and put people up in submissions. Like I would be surprised here if he doesn't just use the grappling immediately, because Jakub will. Jakub's also a pretty intense grappler, right? Aggressive pressure wrestling. He really does hunt for takedowns and subs too. So If Patchy Mix ain't initiating the grappling, guess what? Jakub will, and they'll end up in some sort of grappling exchanges for sure. And at that point, who's the better grappler, right? Patchy Mix is supposed to be. He's supposed to be. So that's why I'm backing him in this fight. And I think Jakub's not bad, right? Former KSW guy, good front kicks. Man, he's aggressive on the ground, dude. And he will hunt the subs very fast and very quick. We've seen Patchy Mix do that too, right? It's just like, I don't know, what's better competition, Bellator or KSW? I would say probably Bellator probably had a little bit better competition than KSW now. Although you could say maybe not, because Bellator is not even in existence. KSW is still going. Striking's okay on both of these guys' side. Like, it's nothing really too technical or crazy. I don't think we're going to have a grappling negate, right, where both of them are just not grappling at all, just striking with each other. They're definitely going to, look to grapple with each other. And I think Patchy Mix will get the best of them. Honestly, something I'm probably not going to put my money on. Maybe I'll put in a parlay with, either guy. Maybe fight. Honestly, the under's looking really nice here. Both of these guys are finishers, dude. A lot of their fights really don't go to decision in the past. So, if Patchy Mix is supposed to be this great grappler, he should, win the best of it and get the submission, right? But on the flip side too, Jakub is a damn good grappler, and maybe he could find Patchy Mix in something. You never know. So, we'll take Patchy Mix. We'll take him by submission, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jakub wins this fight. So, Patchy Mix is my official pick. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight. We have Puna Soriano, a.k.a. Puna, versus Nikolai Veretennikov. Odds on the fight -220 for Puna, +180 for Nikolai. My pick for the fight is going to be Puna Soriano. Dude, Nikolai Veretennikov, what a sore fucking loser you are. Right? Lost his fight, obviously, to Austin Vanderford. And then, his reaction after that, this guy's a bitch, man. This guy's a bitch. Getting salty, trying to fight after the fight that you just lost. Come on now, bro. Super sore loser. And I don't think he won his last fight 2 months ago versus Francisco Prado. I think that split decision should have went the other way, and a lot of people agree with me too. So honestly, his tenure in the UFC really hasn't looked that good, right? Puna moving down here to 170 with his wins over Miguel Beza and Uros Medic. He's looked damn good, Puna has. So respect to him for kind of turning his career around at this point. And he has a lot more experience in the UFC than Nikolai does. He's faced better competitions, has heavy hands, good volume, good pressure. Honestly, has grappling and wrestling and good in the clinch positions too. Man, I got Puna all day here, dude. Nikolai leaves his leg to get chopped up. Puna can take advantage of that, chop the legs up. Takedown defense ain't that good. Puna can take him down. Maybe even find a ground and pound finish there. He had no get-up game and no answer whatsoever for Austin Vanderford. Austin Vanderford took him down, and that was it. Okay, you're training out of a decent gym at King's MMA. What are you, a good sparring partner? Dude, I think Puna takes this with ease, bro. I think he takes this with ease. I think he gets a knockout over Nikolai Veretennikov. Second round. Book it. All right, I'm going to say it right here. And if it hits, we'll do a little fucking clip. Fuck it. Excuse my French. Puna, round 2 knockout over Nikolai Veretennikov. Book it. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, next fight. We have Ramiz Brahimaj versus Austin, the Gentleman Vanderford. Odds in the fight here, we have +200 for Ramiz Brahimaj, -250 for Austin Vanderford. My pick for the fight's going to be the Gentleman. Give me Austin Vanderford. Ramiz Brahimaj always finds himself as an underdog in every single fight. And look, impressive win last time out versus Billy Ray Goff. A lot of people weren't expecting that. Now the Mickey Gall KO, you're facing Mickey Gall. What do you expect here, right? But man, the reason I'm picking Austin Vanderford is because of the takedown defense of Ramiz Brahimaj and the awful get-up game. Austin Vanderford is an impressive grappler, and he does grappling matches that he has done in the past, right? His striking really isn't too much to brag about. If this is going to be a striking match, I think Ramiz Brahimaj could probably find a lot of success in that. But Vanderford has the grappling advantage. She's probably going to take down Ramiz Brahimaj and end up getting a submission or a ground and pound KO. Like, he is a beast on the mat. The ground and pound's deadly. The submissions present themselves from the ground and pound, so he takes advantage of that. He's just an aggressive person on the mat. He ain't passive, right? He's not just sitting there controlling and counting down the minutes. Like, he is making every minute on the mat count. So, cardio for 3 rounds? Haven't seen it, right? And even though, like, Ramiz Brahimaj in the past, he's, like, getting ragdolled by fucking Temba Bagrimbo. He's getting beat the hell up by Court McGee. He still survived 3 rounds in those fights. But if these guys are bodying you on the mat, Court McGee and Temba, like, I imagine Austin Vanderford's going to be able to do the same. I don't think he's made the improvements since those fights to withstand somebody like this, man. And yeah, Ramiz Brahimaj has submission wins in the past. But against who? Who? Michael Gilmore? Who the fuck is that? Sasha Palatinikov? Who the fuck is that? Carlos Martinez? That was an LFA fight. But what I'm saying here is his wins aren't that impressive in the UFC. Not even the recent ones either. I'm going with the new guy. Had an impressive win over Veretennikov where he beat the crap out of him on the ground. I imagine, again, he does the same thing to Ramiz Brahimaj. So give me Austin Vanderford. Give me him within the distance, but I think he gets it done by KO. So Austin Vanderford KOing Ramiz Brahimaj. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, next fight. And our last fight we're breaking down, and our first fight of the evening. Ladies going at it again. We have Veronica Hardy versus Brogan Walker. Odds in the fight -600 for Veronica, +400 for Brogan. Man, my pick for this fight's going to be Veronica Hardy, guys. There is no way. Brogan Walker is winning this fight. And Mrs. Walker, I am giving you the honorary title of Lamb of the Week. You are going to get beat up for 3 rounds. Okay? That's just how it's going to play out. Now, I know Veronica Hardy ain't the best fighter in the UFC, right? But she started her career very young, right? She's been in the UFC for like 9 years, bro, and she's 29 years old. She's starting at 20 years old, okay? 3-2 in her last 5. Yeah, she's coming off a tough loss versus Eduardo Mora, but Eduardo Mora would beat Brogan Walker. And she had a little 3-fight win streak, bro. JJ Aldrich, Jamie Lynn Horth, Juliana Miller. By the way, Juliana Miller KO'd Brogan Walker, and Veronica Hardy handled Juliana Miller. Like, I don't know, you're getting taken down and body on the mat by Juliana Miller and then eventually KO'd like Brogan Walker. That's not a good look. That's not a good look at all. And then you go out and lose to Yasmin Lucindo. You haven't fought in 2.5 years. You have all these injuries. I don't know what her injury is. I looked it up. I didn't know what it was. Nobody could figure it out. I guess it was something that required extensive rehab, but like, everything's just sus to me on the Brogan Walker side. 36 years old, you're older, you're 7-4, you haven't won in the UFC, you're returning from an injury that's suspect, and like, I don't know, like, are you considering retirement at this point? Like, what's the deal here? You're 7-4, right? I know Veronica Hardy is 9-5, and that's not much of a better record, but at least she's active, right? In the past 2.5 years, Veronica Hardy's fought 4 times. So, I mean, Brogan Walker hasn't fought at all since that point. She's super hittable. I mean, Lucindo has a kind of similar style to Veronica Hardy, and I think with just a lot more aggression. Veronica Hardy has a lot better movement. She's quicker. She's faster. She's the better striker. Younger. Good counters. I wish she would mix in more combos because she'd look real nice. Maybe she can with Brogan Walker here. I just think she's going to have a heyday over Brogan Walker. I think she's going to be put on the map here. I think this is a setup fight. She's -600 for a reason. Don't overthink it, okay? Veronica Hardy by decision. That is my official pick for this fight, and I'm sorry, Brogan Walker. You are the Lamb of the Week. It is what it is. So, that's my official pick for the fight. Veronica Hardy by decision. Let's go. And that is it, guys. We have given you a pick. and a prediction for every single fight on UFC 320. If you have made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Please click that subscribe button down there. Please click it for me. We are on the road to 400 subscribers. We are crawling up and crawling our way there. So again, I appreciate if you click that button. It's just a little click of a digital button. That's all you got to do. Secondly, my Patreon's free. Links in the description. That's where you can see all of my bets when I place them. Bets video will be dropping Thursday this week. All my bets will be placed before the video drops, so you can see them early and get the odds when they're good and what I get them at by subscribing to the Patreon. Again, it is free. Doesn't cost you a penny, and the link's in the description if you're interested. Let's have a good week this week for UFC 320. Even though it's kind of a lackluster pay-per-view, we still got fist fights, and you know I will be tuned in, along with all of us other degenerates here watching. So, Young Pasty out. Let's go.